Don't stare at me.
Wait, you have to wait till I'm right. I put M&M's in my mouth.
Right when I'm ready.
Hi everybody, so today we're going to be filming a Q&A video. I posted a little picture on Instagram asking you guys some questions you might want to be asking us, and we said it could be about anything, about marriage or infertility, military, whatever it could be about. So a bunch of you guys posted them on that photo. Some I got DM'd to me on Instagram, and then a few on YouTube comments, but not that many. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Alright, so we're just going to jump on it. So the first question, and I haven't read these to Justin yet. I've kind of just scanned through them. I haven't really thought about an answer, so it's going to be real. So the first question is, how does your family feel about you guys starting a family at such a young age?
You know, our family's given us a lot of support. It's been pretty awesome to see from both sides of the family, from her mom and my parents both. Even with siblings and my sister and her sister, it's been really cool. We've really just been blessed with family that doesn't really care about that. We've had other people outside question us about that. Like, why do you guys want to have kids so early? Why don't you enjoy your marriage together? But, you know, when we first told our parents, it was awesome. Like, the response that we got from them was incredible. So it's good to have a family that just, you know, they don't really care. You know, they love you so much and they want to support you. So
they want to be grandparents more than anything. Same with our sisters. They want to be aunts more than anything, and they're completely supportive of the process through IVF and everything. They've given us emotional support, financial support. They've given us a lot to be able to help us get through this. Absolutely 100% supportive of everything that we've done so far. The next question is, do you have baby names picked out, and if so, what are they? Yes, we do, but we are not going to share them on social media at this time. We're not going to wait until the babies are born to announce it. We're not going to wait that long. We'll wait until we find out what we're having, how many we're having, and then we'll announce it. But we have one boy name picked out and one girl name. So hopefully we either have one boy, one girl, or a boy and girl. Otherwise, we don't have any more names picked out at the time.
yeah.
But I'm sure we'll come up with some more. We'll see. Okay, this one is a tough one. So it says, what is your #1 struggle as a couple that you're willing to publicize? I feel that social media makes us portray that everything is perfect when in reality we all argue, disagree, and accept.
Ooh,
I know.
that's a good one.
So your #1 struggle as a couple?
I would say her being type A and me being type B, I think is our biggest obstacle that we have, because that falls into place with every single situation we encounter. Her organized planning mindset and my spontaneity.
Very different personality types. We did that like Myers-Briggs personality test when we were engaged, and we were just like almost complete opposites. Like, I was a little bit more introverted when we started dating, and then when we like really either got married or got engaged, like really started making things serious, I feel like I've come out of my shell a lot more, and I would consider myself an extrovert now more than an introvert. I do like my alone time, but I like being around people a lot more.
She's that virgin. Yes, she is.
But so that's probably our biggest thing, is just different personalities. I'm very like you said, organized and on top of things. He wants to be spontaneous, so probably that. I mean, that can cause a few like things that are different, maybe.
Yeah. We don't have any major struggles, but
except
like
for except for infertility.
Yeah.
That's been like the main.
But that
like
hasn't
stress
really
on our message.
That hasn't really caused trouble between you and me.
No, not trouble, but it's been like a battle that we've had to go through together. Like the biggest struggle we've had to deal with as a couple together has definitely been this process, just because it's emotionally draining and exhausting and heartbreaking, you know, and so that really puts two people closer together for sure. Okay, next question. Were you guys worried after trying to conceive for 6 months, or did you just decide that you would keep up trying for 1 year?
I wasn't that worried, but Rochelle has like the sixth sense when it comes to things, and she's usually right about every single thing that she thinks.
No, that's not true.
But no, when we first started trying, she even just had this fear that it probably wasn't going to happen for some reason. I kept trying to encourage her, like, no, stop thinking that. You don't know until you know that something's wrong. So we just kept trying, but we from everybody that told us, they just keep saying,
they're like, you're fine.
Keep trying,
you're only 20
you're so young.
years old. Like, it's not a big deal. But he's right. I just always had this feeling, and not the thing that's crazy. I always had this feeling, but I always had a feeling it was something wrong with me. I never assumed it would be something wrong with him, but because I grew up having like those ovarian cysts and stuff, so I just assumed it would be hard for us to get pregnant, like unregular periods and whatnot. And so I felt something was wrong, but I was wrong about what it was that was actually the problem. And so we started trying to get pregnant in April of 2015, and we had our first like doctor appointment at the fertility doctor in March of 2016. So just about 1 year after, but I started to get concerned at the beginning. When we had been trying for 6 months, I was like convinced something was wrong, but you can't go see a doctor until you've been trying for a year. So we got in around January. We had some complications at the Naval Hospital with all that stuff, but eventually we got to our current fertility doctor around March. So yeah, kind of from the beginning, we kind of knew something was off.
Just because of how actively we were trying.
Oh yeah, and we were so young.
It was weird.
And we had heard like everyone else say that they didn't have any issues.
We had friends that were getting pregnant left and right. And it was like, okay, what the heck's going on?
Yeah.
So.
Okay, next question is, how does religion help your relationship, especially in hard times? So I don't know if a lot of our subscribers know this. I know we've talked about it. But me and Justin are a Christian family. We believe in Jesus and we follow him, and he's our Lord and Savior. And so we don't like to specify it as religion, because to us it's not necessarily like a religion, it's a relationship. We have a relationship with Jesus, and the main thing, I guess, is that Jesus is at the core of our marriage, and we've built our relationship through dating, engagement, and marriage on his foundation. And so that has been a huge support in this time. I feel like God has opened up a lot of doors for us through this IVF process. We've felt a lot of peace about it. And just felt his presence through this, at least on my part.
Absolutely. 100% agree. There's something about it, you can't explain it, but when you pray and, when we ask for prayers and I lay in bed at night and I say, God, why is this happening? Help us through this. It's been incredible to see him actively doing that. And to actually see him working is the best thing in the world, because there's been times where, you don't feel him moving in your life, and it's disheartening at times, and it's hard on your faith, but that's why they call it faith, is because, you don't just trust something because you see it, he calls us to trust him even though we can't see him, but to actually see him moving and working in this has been absolutely amazing. And we've had so much support from our church family. We all come from a Christian background, which is awesome, just to have people constantly surrounding us in prayer as well. It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for that question. That's a cool question. One more on the Instagram post was, do you guys watch Aspen and Parker's channel? I feel like you would like their channel, or Ellie and Jared as well. So I have watched Aspen and Parker in the past. I don't think you even know who that one is. They're like a younger married couple as well. I watched them for a little while, but I think the reason that I'm not like super watching their videos all the time is just because they're at like a completely different phase in life than we are. And so they're like just young and they're enjoying being married. They don't want kids anytime soon. So like when I like to watch videos that I feel like are relatable to us. So Ellie and Jared, ask Justin. I watch their videos every single day. They're amazing. I tell him all the time I want to be them when I grow up. Like, they're such an amazing couple. They have the sweetest family, and I absolutely watch them. Even he will like peek in and watch them with me a lot of the time because it's such a cute family and they're so sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, and then from the DMs, how did you and Justin meet?
Oh, wow. So, it's a long story.
We were 16.
Yeah, we were 16. And I was a junior, and I had just gotten out of a bad phase of my life with just drugs. People and drugs and everything that I was doing. I finally met some friends at school that kind of showed me, like, who God was and everything. So they decided to bring me to youth group one night. And the first night I walked in, it's going to sound so textbook, but I saw her, and I was like, I'm going to marry that girl someday. She is so beautiful.
And I was like, no.
So, yeah, she was like, no, 3 times. Actually, 3 times. We hung out one night, and I texted her afterwards. I was just like, hey, I think you're really pretty.
No.
Woman.
You said, I just want to let you know that you are the most beautiful woman in the world. And I was 16,
like,
and I was like,
oh, I'm really trying to focus on my relationship with God right now. And I was like, oh, get out
that was
of
like
here.
the like total
You're
like
the
Christian
worst.
like
The worst.
like turn away like.
So bad.
I was like, no, I don't like him.
You know, persistence is key.
Yeah.
Persistence is key. And I finally got her to see.
Okay, so he asked me out like the first time probably in like October 2011. And then he asked me again after my 17th birthday, right in January of 2012. And that's when I finally said yes. And then we had our first date in March of 2012. And we started dating like... No, we had our first date before that. And then we started dating on March 20th. He asked me at youth group. We were 17 at that time. And then that summer he left for boot camp for the Navy. And we made like this deal that if we could get through boot camp, which is just letters, because you can't, like, we got 1-2 phone calls, I think, and they were super short, so just letters, communication. So we decided that if we could get through boot camp, we could get through anything, and that was like our deal breaker kind of thing. And so we did. And how many months after you came home? About a year and a half. About a year and a half after he came home from boot camp, or no, about a year, we got engaged. Because we got engaged of January 2014. And we were 19. I just turned 19, like freshly 19. And then we got married 4 months later in May of 2014. So now we've been married for about 2.5 years. So that's our story. That's like the short version. Okay. How many kids do you plan to have, like, through the frozen embryo transfers?
We both want 4. So our goal is hopefully twins. What? 5? And the number keeps getting bigger every single time we talk about it.
When we first got married, we said... Well, I said 3 when we first got married, and you're kind of like 2.
I said 2. I was like 2.
And then through this process, I've been like 4, and he's been like, oh
now
no, I want 3. And now he's like 4, solid 4, and now I'm like 5.
Every time I jump on board, she's gonna get bigger and bigger.
Well, the thing that is we have so many frozen embryos, number 1, but 2, I've just like the last 2 years had this calling to adopt, and so I don't know if we want to have like 4 of our own and then adopt later on. I don't know. I don't want to put a cap on it because
you never know.
I have like, literally it sounds so cliche, like, but my dream has always been to be a mom ever since I was a kid. Like, that's what I wrote on all of my like school things. What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a mom. Like, that's all I wanted to do. And he wants to be a dad too. And so I don't want to put a cap on how many we're going to have, because I think regardless of how much we say we're going to have, God has a different plan anyway. So maybe he just wants us to have 2, maybe just 1, and I don't know what his plan is. So I would like to have 4 or 5, but
we'll see.
We'll see what happens. And then one of the last questions that was on a YouTube video, how is your and Justin's relationship with the military? Like, is it hard or whatnot? So it's kind of self-explanatory. Well, he actually leaves like tomorrow again for another 2 weeks. We've kind of gotten into the routine of him being gone a lot. We got really spoiled the first year and a half of marriage. His ship was in like a maintenance phase, and so he was coming home every single day, never really had any duty or underways. But the last year, we've been dealing with a lot of him going away a lot of the time. And it's, we have this thing that we say, we've said it since we started dating, he was in the Navy, is that we allow the distance to grow us stronger instead of grow us apart. And in the way that, like, when he's gone for 2 weeks, that's terrible. I mean, I'm home in this giant big house by myself, but when he comes home, I feel like our relationship just grows because we've been apart for so long.
It makes it so much better. I just remember coming home from deployment, and, like, there's no better feeling than
and we were just dating at that time.
Yeah, like, there's no better feeling than coming into the harbor and being like, I can't wait to see my girlfriend today. Like, that's just, it's an incredible feeling. And it was amazing. It was like one of the best days of my life.
Yeah.
It was like the best day of my life coming home.
Some of my favorite photos. I think that when he goes on his next deployment, if we have gotten pregnant by the time he comes home, if we have kids, I want to hire a videographer to kind of film me getting the baby ready and taking them to the ship and doing the homecoming. So if we do that in the future, I'll totally post that video here on this channel for you guys. But absolutely, it's not easy in any way possible being a military spouse, being in the military, it's not, but we just choose to allow that to grow us closer together rather than apart.
And then we know that in the future, like, there's nothing that's going to be as hard as this. Like,
no, he'll be out eventually.
I'm glad that we're getting out of the way early, you know, these hard times, so that in the future we can fully enjoy each other, knowing that all those hard times are finally gone, you know. Like, we've already gotten through the hardest of the hard, you know, being gone for 9 months or a year. It's like, it doesn't get much tougher than that, you know. So.
Yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this Q&A video. We are going to be posting a little bit more often now. I'm thinking still of having 2 days a week that we're going to be specifically uploading, so keep your eye out for that. Also, we are nearing 400 subscribers, so we decided the other day that once we hit 500 subscribers, we're going to be doing some sort of fun giveaway. So we don't really know what that's going to be yet, but because you guys have been super supportive and everyone that's ever just commented on our videos has just been so nice and kind and has the biggest hearts, we decided we wanted to do a giveaway for our subscribers once we hit 500. So we're not sure what that's going to be yet. We'll let you know when that time comes. I don't know if that's going to be sooner or later. We'll see. But we're really excited for that, so keep an eye out for that as well. And that's it. So we will talk to you guys again soon. Thank you for watching. If you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and we'll talk to you. And we'll talk to you again next time.
Thanks, guys. Bye. Guys, what's up? So we had something. Hey guys, so you got. Oh my God. Hey.
I was a little bit more introverted, I think, when we first started dating, and now that we're